Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm the type of person who bounce around and always introduce myself like "Good morning" and "Wake up, everyone!" Uh, in my work environment, people are actually stressed out and wish what's the word? Nyctophobia grab them instead. But I'm the person who will actually ask people how they're doing, how how was their weekend, what they do. I'm the person who will actually focus on uh, a facial emotion, something like a deep breath. Like when somebody has too much on their plate, I'll be the person who try to help them out with the learning of the style, the leadership style. I realize I'm a coach. I'm a coaching person and also an altruist person, which make all my previous background now that like with this known, it explained a lot of things. Have you ever had an experience where you got you got to give people coaching and the end result was so good and so rewarding as a coach? I used to work in a library, uh, kindergarten to grade 12 in a French school, and I was just there for a few days already. And the school principal came to me and she said, "Could you find a way to help one of our students? She's struggling so much. She probably won't have the chance to finish her degree if she doesn't do 100 hours of volunteering." I'm just the newest person. I don't know where everything is. And I'm like, sure, I will find something for her. So the next morning, the little girl, she was so cute. She entered into the library with like really a super slow pace, not having self confidence. She was like one of those kids where it's always hard and couldn't find anything she liked and all that. So I'm like, okay, I found a project for you. We're gonna relabel everything in color so all kids will know if it's a French book, if it's a, a roman, if it's like a novel, a fiction. So we're gonna relabel with color so everyone can see. So she started and she was typing to her computer and for a few hours. And then some of her friends arrived and talked to her. And I'm like, oh, she would need your help. Would you like to help her out? So they started to talk, and as the project was going, more people joined her, and more and more and more and more involved me as a person who wants everyone to feel successful, that they were having the good information, the great knowledge. I had to find what they could do for their age because people turned out to be even kindergarten wanted to help, and her friends who were in grade 12. And I was so happy that they were trying to help her out in this amazing, huge project. So at the end of like close to the end, she didn't go and walk her way. She was just dedicating, doing her task and all that. And I was, oh my goodness, you got to see what you've done, you and your friend, what you've done. And she went across the library and realized how much work she did put in this. As a as we went, I thought she was gonna cry because never before somebody gave her the chance to actually complete um, a project. And I trusted her and I knew she was going to do it. And I knew with their friend or friends, like it would have been even greater as an experience. So she was so happy and so thankful for, even in her voice, we could feel the really, really happy person she became over the course of a few months. And then we had 36 people in this project, and now the library was welcoming again as it should. And she felt so proud of herself, and I was so proud of her. Then it was just making my day. Then I got another position, another job. And I didn't have the title as a leader or as a manager or a boss or whatever. I entered as a contractor. And when I got in, I noticed nobody was talking. Nobody was actually in like having interaction with one another. So my bouncy little attitude was, "Good morning, everyone." And they were, "Oh my God, what's going on?" Somebody actually talked to me, and I'm like, yes. So I started to have conversation with everybody, and people were now getting to me and, "Oh, do you know how we could do that?" And I was new at this position again. So I said, "I don't know how, but I'm going to find out. And I'm going to find out in a way that maybe not only you, but somebody else will benefit from your this knowledge, this new knowledge." So I became a coach and wanted to learn more so I could share more with people. And those people were like, "How do you know that?" I had to find out a way. I Googled it, I YouTubed it, and I wanted to share my experience or my knowledge with people. That was my greatest reward. We had a person, and this was an event that actually warmed my heart again. We had a person who was 69 years old, almost like talking about retirement and all that, and he didn't want to retire, but he wanted to retire, and he was planning on retiring at 70 years old. So I find out when was his birthday, and I decided, okay, I'm just gonna buy a few balloons, a few balloon pumps, and I will make sure we celebrate his birthday. So he was the type of person who actually was part of the company since the very beginning, three acquisition, and the really type of person who was actually like 4 o'clock sharp gone, 8 o'clock sharp in the morning. So around like 1 minute before 4 o'clock, I sent everyone an email. If you want to join us, we actually gonna pump some balloon for our friend Tom. And the next morning, he came back, and his office was decorated as it should, and everybody gathered around, everybody had fun, everybody was talking. And what was so great, the next morning everybody told him happy birthday and sang happy birthday song, and he was so happy about that little thing. He retired around 72 years old. That was great. And another event that actually warmed my heart as a coach and as an altruist person was, we did sometime we had decided to make a potluck with 170 people working in a shop, people from everywhere, like any country, any languages, any kind of food. And they were, "Oh yes, let's have a party, let's have a potluck party." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm going to dedicate my time in a way that we're going to make this happen." So I gathered a few of my best people, and we sat and organized the whole thing. And in the morning, people were coming with their food, and, "Oh, this is from my wife. She's so happy. She has made it for us." And she was like, everybody was so excited. We actually had the greatest party ever. We had food for 3 other meals. It was so cool. We were 160 people. Everybody enjoyed it, and the greatest part of it is people were actually talking about it the day after and the week after, and we should have another one, and we should have another one. They didn't know I probably spent my whole day like setting the whole environment, washing dishes, and making sure everything goes back together at the end of the day. I had to finish at 6 o'clock, but it did not matter. I was so happy having us all together in a way that like we could share food, even though if we have some background from everywhere, we're just part of the same company. And that was one of those days. So as I'm learning more and more with the coaching thing, it passioned me, and I wish all company had great leaders. We don't have to be uh, we don't have to have a title. We don't have to be a specific person. Everybody can be a leader, and um, that's it. One of my favorite author is Simon Sinek. If you haven't read that book, please um, get it from the library. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.